ever going to see. My members at Local 25 and young president of Local 25, Tom Murray. I also want to recognize the world's oldest Teamster in the world. He was actually a waiter at the Last Supper, as we talked about Rome and the Vatican. Retiree President Joe Conti. Now, being union leaders, being union activists, we all have titles, we all have positions. We have these fancy titles that we love. I'm a president, I'm a general secretary treasurer, I'm a trustee, whatever the case may be. I'm a business manager. But you know what my favorite title in the world is? Dad. My son Sean is a fourth-year apprentice in the Plumbers Union. He's a fifth-generation trade unionist. Like all of you here today, he continues to inspire me every single day to get up with a burning desire and push back on those schoolyard bullies known as corporate America and these corrupt politicians who don't seem to get it. Well, they're going to get it moving forward more ways than one. Sara said how we were in the Vatican, and she was right. We were out there trying to formulate an agenda worldwide. And we're doing that because, I think you've heard me say this a few different times, that the power of collaboration is going to truly effectuate change within this country. And we got a very, very special opportunity to meet the Pope. Now, I had a conversation with the Pope, and he even said, corporate America, corrupt politicians, God can't even help them. Right? We're over there collaborating because these corporations in corporate America, some of them are global companies, have global presence. We've got a great opportunity to take back our unions, number one, restore faith in our respective organizations, but inspire workers to organize and join unions because they know they got millions upon millions of union members supporting their backs. I have the best job in the entire world. Thanks to my Teamster members who allowed me the opportunity and privilege to lead the greatest union in the world, 1.2 million strong, and that is the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. But we can have all these fancy titles. We can fly all around the world. But we need to have results, not excuses. And when we're talking to these CEOs, or we're calling them out like we are, we have a great leader, great advocate, and our Senator Bernie Sanders, who's not afraid to take on corporate America, not afraid to call out his colleagues in Washington. And I've witnessed it. I had the great pleasure and opportunity to testify at a Senate Budget Committee hearing where Senator Sanders set it up so that we could actually go in there and in front of some of these Republican politicians who don't like unions, who don't support unions, who are more focused on the bottom line of a balance sheet. We got to call them out. And I referred to corporate America, the Amazons, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Sergeant Schultz from Starbucks. I refer to them as white-collar criminals. Amazon, like many other corporations, are a white-collar crime syndicate. And you know the sad part of that hearing? They award Amazon billions, our government awards Amazon billions upon billions of government contracts. They reward bad behavior. It's time for us to hold these crooked politicians who we elect, and in some cases fund. We hold them accountable just like our members, just like worker people are held accountable. When they're not doing their jobs, they should be fired. They should not support any business that does not embrace the right to organize, They should not reward any company that's not going to sit down after their workers wanted to join a union and negotiate a collective bargaining agreement. We should hold them accountable. We should make certain that anybody that takes on working people, they should not receive any type of government benefits or contracts. And we will continue that fight. The sad reality, my partner in crime, Sara Nelson, said it best. These politicians don't care. All they care about is making certain that they get their large donations, making sure that they get their fancy dinners, maybe their golf games paid for by corporate America. And we have to do a better job, like at Amazon, exposing how viral this company is, how bad they treat their workers. There's 150% turnover ratio at Amazon. Amazon focuses on distressed communities around the country. They focus on highly populated immigrant distressed communities so that they can extort and exploit workers. There is no path to a full-time career. They hide behind what we all know, independent contractor models, where they aren't required to pay benefits, they aren't required to give wage increases. It's a scam. It needs to end. And these politicians need to get off their ass and start supporting the people who built America, and that's the working class. And we have that. And Senator Sanders, who you're going to hear from. We have that. Now, let's get back to the Three Stooges. Let's get back to Bezos, Musk. What's the other one's name? Sergeant Schultz from Starbucks?
Scumbag.
There has never been a most inspiring time for organized labor and people to organize within their workplaces. Because of those three nitwits and their bad behavior, they're actually helping us organize. They're helping us mobilize. They're helping us strategize. And they don't know it. Because when employers treat workers bad, we, organized labor, unions, are the only option to hold these white-collar crime syndicates known as corporate America accountable. And when we organize, we strategize, especially with the Amazons, the Starbucks workers. Never so proud in my life to see a youth movement trying to organize. Right? That's not the only fight we have, but it's going to be the biggest. It's going to be the most platform on a national level we're ever going to see. But we can organize. We got to strategize. Most importantly, we're going to pulverize corporate America. But we have to do that by mobilizing our members, making sure that, like my son, who's a fifth-generation trade unionist, we got the ability, sitting around Mrs. O'Brien's dinner table, learning how important it was to be active and support the union. I learned firsthand that education on why we have such great conditions. And the one thing that we were focused on was making certain that we learned and respected the organization that has given us everything in our entire lives, given us great opportunity. And it's time we do a better job of educating that next generation of workers. Because most of those next generation of workers that we're seeing in the workplace right now, and we talk about mobilizing, they've never been a generational connection to the unions. They don't know how hard it is to protect and preserve and improve working conditions. We have to teach them about the struggles. Our Teamster retiree president spent many years in the trenches fighting, striking, sacrificing, so that we can enjoy affordable health care. We can afford middle-class living. We can afford to buy homes. But most importantly, we can afford to retire with a pension and maintain our dignity, current take-back of working-class America. We have to ensure that we give them the knowledge, the history of why unions are so important, why they're so powerful. We have to make sure they understand the discipline that went on, the sacrifice, but we also have to embrace new ideas, new ways, new strategies. I am so excited to be a part of this time right now. And I took over an organization that was asleep for 10 years. 1.2 million members. We touch every mode of transportation nationwide. We're in airlines, we're in trucking, we're in railroads, and we're in maritime. Now, these white-collar crime syndicates, known as corporate America, and these corruptible politicians, and I have a dream and a goal. You know, everybody wants to make an example out of something. We take a bold action somewhere just to send a message. I think we do that in our personal lives. I think we do it in our professional lives. But the bold move that I would love to see, I would love to see for one day, we all unite and shut down commerce to show how important and vital we are in this country. We proved it. We proved it. You know, remember that president we had prior? Trump? Right? Remember him? Well, he could shut the government down, right? And he did. Why can't we do the same to send a message that we are back, bigger, faster, stronger? We are going to take the fight on to anybody who tries to infiltrate or hurt workers around this country. Now, Musk, Bezos, Sergeant Schultz, they need a beating. They need to know what it feels like to be pushed around by a schoolyard bully that they are. They need to understand that they're only successful because of their workers on the front line. And I think we all agree that the last 2 years during the pandemic, and I can speak for the Teamsters Union, we are all essential workers in the Teamsters Union. We were providing goods and services. We were delivering food to make sure that supermarkets' shelves were stocked. We were delivering medical supplies to support the essential workers in the hospitals, the nurses, the doctors, to ensure safety. We were out picking up trash. We were out working with total disregard, just like many or mostly all of you, for our own safety and our own health. And we were out there doing that when there was no vaccination, no protections. All the while, you were losing. Because if you got COVID, in some cases you didn't get paid. If you got that sick and you had child care issues and you couldn't go to work, your pay suffered, your work conditions suffered. But you look at these three bozos, and you look at corporate America, their balance sheet had record profits skyrocketing. All the while, our members, or the workers, losing. We're not losing anymore. Now it's time. We proved our worth. You know, during the pandemic, when everybody was out there sacrificing, risking their own health, risking the health of their families, we were portrayed in the media as heroes. All the while, these corporate white-collar crime syndicates look at us like we're zeros. That is going to end. We've formed these coalitions. We've made certain that we're positioned globally, nationally, to take on the fight. And Teamsters has a big fight moving forward. You heard of a company called United Parcel Service? 360 Teamsters nationwide. And then we have our friends, our labor affiliates in Europe, all over the world, that are represented by transportation unions. But we are the strongest. We are the most vigilant. And you know why? Because we got 360,000 rank and file Teamster members who are sick of taking shit. Now it's time. Now it's time. Now it's time not to demand what we want. It's to demand what we're worth, and we're worth a shitload of money. Everybody, every CEO, every corporation, this is the largest collective bargaining agreement in the private sector for any union in the United States. Any union in the United States. Corporate America is looking at what we are going to do. And I've been very clear with the United Parcel Service and a lot of other employers. We've been in power for 151 days or 152 days. First order of business, went down to see the CEO of UPS. Nice lady. But I did tell her, look, you know, you were a CFO at Home Depot. You used to have anti-union meetings all the time, nationwide, not allowing or not supporting the right to organize. And you want to be friends, you want to be partners. We're partners, you know, we're all partners, right? We're partners. I said, I want to make one thing clear. I have a beautiful mother. I respect my mother. She brought us up the right way. And I will never disrespect a woman. But I will tell you this. I will put your company on their knees if you want to attack us. We're going to be out there. We're going to be fighting. Our goal is to make certain that UPS gives what we are worth. Make sure UPS understands that we are going to set the tone on how to organize by taking the most richest collective bargaining agreement in the entire labor movement and showing these workers what they're entitled to, what they can get when they mobilize, strategize, organize, and pulverize these corporations. Now look, we are building a movement. You're all part of a movement here. But it can't be done with 3 or 4 people. Bernie, Sara, myself. We can't do this. We'll try, but we need people to engage. We need people to be involved. Being a union member, being a leader, being a worker, trying to organize is not a spectator sport. You can't sit on the sidelines and hope and pray someone scores that touchdown for you. You've got to engage, get in the fight. Because if you truly want change, with change comes tremendous sacrifice. And that sacrifice might not be comfortable. But the one thing we have that corporate America and these corruptible politicians don't have, we got heart. We got intestinal fortitude. We got courage and conviction to ensure victory. And I got a message. I got a message for corporate America. I got a message for these corrupt politicians in Washington. And I have to look at that stupid building every single day and get aggravated. I got a message for all of them. When you take on one of us, you take on all of us. The Teamsters Union is 1.2 million strong. And they need to understand, any of our partners in labor, any of our members, any workers that want to organize, if they do not do the right thing and support our members, we will put them on the street. They have to understand, Teamsters don't cross picket lines. We will support every single union, every single fight. The one thing you have to understand how important it is. Your fight today may not be my fight. However, that fight tomorrow may be mine. We need to support each other. We need to make understood that we are one. Labor is back. We're bigger. We're faster. We're stronger. And one thing I will say, you take one of us on, you take us all on. And hey, listen, here's the best part. We get the ability every single day to fight schoolyard bullies. We get the ability to be strong because we're one. And the message that I got today, for all these scumbag CEOs, for all these corruptible politicians, and these white-collar crime syndicates, you fuck with us, we fuck with you. It's a full contact sport. It's a full contact sport. Put your helmets on and buckle your chin straps. Now, I always say, success has a million fathers. And I speak a little funny, I'm sorry. But failure is an orphan. right? We wouldn't be able to have this movement nationwide without having someone that truly believes how important it is for workers to organize, who truly believes in accountability for CEOs, accountability for corporate America, and a person who is out there every single day fighting for the working class, fighting to restore strength and dignity for the people like all of us and our forefathers and foresisters who helped build this great America that we live in every single day. And you don't see this often. You know, when people are out, they'll give a little speech, politicians, they'll tell you how they're with you, and they're really not. Well, I got to tell you this. There's one person that hasn't wavered once on the working class. There's one person I know is not corruptible. And there's one person who is responsible for building this momentum nationwide. I'm proud to be a part of this movement. But most importantly, I'm proud we have a senator like Bernie Sanders.